Welcome back to our series on Python GUI with Tkinter. In this tutorial, I will walk you through the essential GUI widgets in Python. By the end, you will have a working invoice data entry form and the knowledge to create your own responsive Python GUIs. Now let's dive into making this happen. In this video, we'll cover the following: a recap on setting up the graphical user interface application with Tkinter, creating and customizing buttons, displaying text using labels, accepting user input with entry fields, presenting data with Treeview, adding drop-down menus with Combobox, and making the layout responsive. Remember, you can use VS Code or any IDE of your choice. Before jumping into widgets, we need a canvas to paint on. Let's set up the foundation for our graphical user interface application. Recall from our previous video that we'll first import the Tkinter library and assign an alias tk to it. Then, we'll create the main application window and assign it to the root variable. The title method sets the title of the window, while the geometry specifies the window size. The main loop method keeps the application running until it's closed manually. Next, let's add some widgets. What's a GUI without buttons? Let's add a button to submit our invoice data. Let's create a function submit_invoice that runs when the button is clicked. Next, we create a button with text and a command. Then the Path Geometry Manager places the button in the window with padding. But our button is just the start. Let's make it better by aligning it within a grid. To guide users, we need labels. Let's add one to describe the entry field. tk.label method creates a text label, while the font property sets the font style and size. The grid method positions the label in a specific row and column, while this aligns the label to the west or left of its grid cell. Now that we have labels, let's gather input from the user. We need a place to input custom details. Entry fields are perfect for this. tk.entry method creates a single line input field, while the width property sets the width of the field. To place it next to the label, we use the grid method. But how do we manage multiple items? Let's introduce Treeview. Treeview allows us to show structured data. We'll use it to display invoice items. To access the Treeview, we need to import the TTK module from the Tkinter library. We create a tuple for the column names. Then we call the ttk.treeview method and pass in roots, the main window, columns, which defines the table columns. Show. This displays only column headings, not a blank column. The heading method sets each column's title, while the grid geometry manager places the Treeview in the layout. Next, let's add drop-down menus for item selection. Drop-downs make selection easier. We'll add one for item categories. We'll create a list of categories. Then we'll call the ttk.combobox method that creates a drop-down menu. We'll pass in the root main window. Here, value equals the list created earlier. The state prevents manual input, while the set method sets a default message. Finally, let's make the layout responsive. A responsive design ensures our graphical user interface adapts to different window sizes. To achieve this, we use the which adjusts row proportions. The grid column configuration method adjusts column proportions. Here, the width determines how extra space is distributed. With this, our application is responsive and functional. Using the principles learned, let's complete the design of our invoice generator app. Continue from where we left off in the previous tutorial. We'll begin by designing the top part of the form, where we'll gather customer information. Here's how we do it. We'll create a label. Think of it like a little tag that tells the user what to type in the box next to it. This one says full name. We are placing it in the top frame using something called a grid layout, which organizes everything into rows and columns. Row 0, column 0 is the very first spot. The sticky equals W just means, hey, stick this label to the west left side. Now users need somewhere to actually type their names, right? That's where the entry widget comes in. This creates the text box where user will enter their full name. We are placing it in the same row as the full name label, but in the next column. We also add a little padding, pad X and pad Y, to give it breathing space. Next, we need a place for the customer's address. It's similar to the full name setup. This label says customer address and it sits in the same row 0, but in column 2. Then here is where the user enters the address. Notice that width equals 50. That makes the address box nice and wide. Since address can get long, we also give it some extra padding for a clean look. Now let's move on to the next row 1, where we will ask for details about the item being invoiced. First, we need a label to tell users what to enter. Straightforward, right? It just says item description and is on row 1, column 0. Now here is the cool part. Instead of making users type the description manually, we are giving them a drop-down menu to pick from. This creates a combo box. It's like a little drop-down list with predefined options like optical mouse or HP laptop. Users can click it and select an item instead of typing. But wait, what if the item isn't listed? We add a button for that. This is a button labeled Add New Products. When users click it, we will eventually write some code to let them add their own custom items. Next, we will ask how many items they want and the price per item. First, the quantity label. Simple, this label just says quantity. Right next to it, we will add a spin box. Spin box is like a text box with little up and down arrows. Users can click the arrows to quickly select a number between 1 and 50. Now for the price label and the text box. The amount label sits in the column 2, row 2, aligned to the right. The entry box for the price goes in column. Notice the validate equals skip. That makes sure users only type valid numbers. Next, let's add a button to let users finalize their item details and add them to the invoice table. The command equals self.add to invoice links the button to a function we will define later. When the user clicks this button, their data will go into the invoice. Finally, we need a table to display all the items. This is where the Treeview widgets comes in. The table has columns for serial number, item description, quantity, unit price, and total price. Each column is set up with a heading and a specific width. At the very bottom, we add some buttons for action like printing or starting a new invoice. These buttons are self-explanatory. Print the invoice, export it to Word or PDF, or clear the form to start a new one. Congratulations, we've built a responsive invoice data entry form with buttons, labels, entering fields, Treeview, and combo boxes. If you found this tutorial helpful, click the like button and subscribe to be notified of future videos. In coming tutorials, we'll add advanced features like database integration, generating PDF invoice, and more. Don't miss it.